The aim of the project is to utilise the pre-accredited training opportunities within Darebin to engage vulnerable people in skilling up so that they feel confident to volunteer. We partnered with the Darebin Information Volunteer Resource Service, which we call Diverse, because they're the leaders in our area for placing volunteers within local community organisations. Diverse have a number of programs. One that we were really interested in was the Emergency Relief Program, which gives food to over 150 people a week. So we knew going in that a large proportion of the emergency relief clients were accessing the service for really long periods of time. So they're in constant crisis. We wanted to target this cohort in particular and find ways to make it really easy for them to participate in training or volunteering. So that's where we started, but now it has a much broader reach.
So I've been at Diverse for 9 months now, and my role was to develop and implement the project. For the first couple of weeks I just had a look around, saw what's happening, asked some questions, interviewed the staff and volunteers, and just got used to what was going on in the different areas. I then stepped in to manage the volunteer program, and that allowed me to get a greater understanding of how things worked and what some of the obstacles might be. Did an environmental scan of what training was available in the municipality, and also contacted the community organisations and just had some conversations with them. We ran 3 surveys. One was for the community organisations that have volunteers. One was with the people who were already volunteering, and we also looked at the emergency relief program that was run at Diverse and ran a survey for the people that were receiving support. Looking through the data, we found that there were some gaps, and between what classes were being offered and what volunteer organisations indicated they needed, mostly it was around the basics of work culture, office techniques, dealing with difficult people and those sorts of issues. So we developed some resources to give to our local ACFI providers and community organisations so that they could use them in their classes. With all this information, I then set up new processes within Diverse so that when someone is coming in to volunteer or for emergency relief, there was a new intake procedure that encouraged people to think about volunteering and to think about training, and this was an easy access to get them into some learning. Then set up some external referral processes in order for community organisations to access the Learn Local training options for their volunteers and potential volunteers.
The project has given Diverse the opportunity to provide a safe learning environment for volunteers. It made good sense to partner with Learn Local agencies to provide a streamlined approach to building capacity in volunteers to progress their education or indeed employment pathways. The partnership has created opportunities for us to link with other agencies that we wouldn't normally work with. So I see it will be great benefit for the Learn Local providers to broaden their reach in terms of enrolments for programs going forward.
We launched the project a couple of weeks ago, and now anyone in the municipality who wants to volunteer but is reluctant because of lack of skills or whatever has a pathway. So the other thing about this is that when someone comes into a community organisation wanting to volunteer and the volunteer coordinator doesn't have a place for them because of their skill level, they can refer them to training. So it's a win-win for everyone. Also, if current volunteers are at risk of failing in their jobs at a community organisation, there's now an opportunity to train where there wasn't before.
So this will help our volunteers. It will provide them with more opportunities to develop their skills that they're already developing within our organisation, but will enable them to broaden those skills in ways that we couldn't do on our own, but we could do together.
It's a tremendous opportunity to work in partnership with the other neighbourhood houses in Darebin and alongside Diverse, and it's opening up a whole new audience of people who need local training to develop skills for work and study purposes.
Volunteering is enormously valuable to maintain your community connectedness, as well as to become and continue to be part of the economy of the community that you work in, and to further develop your skills to orientate yourself back into employment.
This will enable upskilling of not only the volunteer coordinator, but also to attract more volunteers to deliver more services to more elderly people. So for us, this is a brilliant program, and to me it's a perfect match, so I'm glad we've come across it.